Cedar Rapids, and I'll kick off this press conference. Since 2008, people of Cedar Rapids and around the state of Iowa have seen a lot of rebuilding. Some of that rebuilding has been done by the public sector and some big projects that people are certainly familiar with, the Convention Center and the Paramount Theater and the library. Some of that rebuilding was done by the private sector. We've seen various private sector investments in this community, the Geometrics building down in New Bow, and just recently the groundbreaking for the CRST building. Well, in addition to the public sector rebuilding and the private sector rebuilding, there's also been a rebuilding project like this today. It's a combination of the public sector working with the private sector. So it's been this three-pronged approach to rebuilding our community through the public, private, and then through these partnerships with this ROOTS program. ROOTS stands for Rebuilding Ownership Opportunities Together. One of the major policies that the city council and the community needed to make after the flood was how are we going to replace all the housing that was lost from the 2008 flood. This was one of the programs that was created, the ROOTS program. After the first round of the ROOTS program was awarded to various homeowners, most of the homes were located out of the flood zone, or out of the flood inundated area. So the city council stepped back and said, we're achieving one goal, that goal to replacing the housing, but we're not achieving another goal that is equally as important, and that's repopulating the areas that were inundated by the flood. And so the council changed this policy to direct all the ROOTS homes to the flood inundated area, and that's why we stand here today on Ellis Boulevard at the heart of the flooding to stand in front of these newly built homes for people in this community. I'd like now to bring our city manager forward to talk to you a little more about the details of this program and what it's meant to the community, not just to the homeowners that live here, but to the taxpayers all over Cedar Rapids. Jeff?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Welcome everybody. Again, I'm Jeff Pomeranz, City Manager of Cedar Rapids. Obviously, as the mayor has said, the floods of 2008 had a tremendously negative impact on housing in the city of Cedar Rapids. But the ROOTS program itself really created an opportunity to rebuild. And the proof is in the numbers. And so I'd like to share some of those statistics with you. Number of new units constructed since August 2014, 179 properties have been allocated to qualified developers. So, you know, if you think about a community the size of Cedar Rapids, just this one program, this ROOTS program, 179 properties allocated, I think really says a lot about how this community is coming back and rebuilding. And you can see the evidence of that rebuilding throughout this entire neighborhood. Now, ROOTS is just one program. So as we look at flood replacement housing, close to 800 homes in total will have been constructed since 2008 as, again, flood replacement housing. So just think about the number, 800 new homes. I don't think there's a community, certainly in the state of Iowa, that has replaced that many homes, and then with the quality of development that we're seeing here in Cedar Rapids, I think that's really the absolute icing on the cake. Overall investment for the ROOTS program itself, the ROOTS program has helped establish $18.6 million in new housing opportunities. Increase in value. Property assessments in the program are projected to be more than $130,000, more than $113,000 higher than their assessment at the time of the flood. Today we celebrate these milestones and offer an invitation for residents to participate in the state's fourth and final round of funding. So the good news is, with all the success that this program has had, we're not done yet. There are still opportunities for developers to, working with our community, create new Roots homes for our city. We're concentrating those homes and that activity in the core of our community, but there'll also be opportunities outside of the core. When, again, we travel the state, we have many, many questions about how the City of Cedar Rapids was able to develop this program after the flood. And we are the envy of many communities across the United States that have had impacts and want to look to Cedar Rapids as a model for how to redevelop housing in the core of our community as well as throughout our community. And there's a lot to be proud of as to how this community came together to create this and other programs, again, to improve housing opportunities for our citizens. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce Paula Mitchell to again talk about some specifics regarding the program, as well as some of the opportunities that we see before us with the Roots program. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Paula Mitchell. I'm the Housing and Redevelopment Manager here at the city, and I just want to touch on some of the points also that the mayor and the city manager have touched on, as well as what we have coming in the future with the Roots program. As the mayor and the city manager both alluded to, we really like to make the most of opportunities to use grant dollars. We like to try to make them do one or two or three things, not just a single thing in the neighborhood. So Roots has a couple of goals, and one of those functions, as has been mentioned, is really to reinvigorate the neighborhoods of Cedar Rapids, particularly those that were flood impacted. The other goal is really about providing home ownership opportunities across a continuum of citizens at all income ranges. And Roots is just one of the ways that we do that as Cedar Rapids looks to grow and expand its workforce and stabilize its neighborhoods. The way that we do that through the Roots program is offering down payment assistance of up to 25% of the purchase price of a newly constructed home. And to help illustrate what that means to homeowners, for example, a home priced at $130,000 for the total development cost, the buyer's mortgage after the city's down payment assistance would amount to $97,500, so really an affordable entry price for a lot of citizens. To qualify, the buyer's household income does need to be at or below 80% of the area median income, which is it's adjusted based on the household size. And just to give you an example of what that would look like for typical households in the area, for a single person household, that's a little over $41,000, and for a household of four, it's a little over $59,000 to qualify. Applicants also need to have the ability to secure a mortgage, a standard mortgage from a qualified participating lender, and there are a number of lenders that work with the program. And additional details can also be found in the media packets that you've received today. One thing I'm happy to share is that we will, over the next 30 days, be working to qualify builders and units for an additional round of units through the Roots program. And so information about that will be coming soon as well. But I'm a program person, and after a while I start to sound like a program person, so I think maybe the most meaningful way to talk about the impact of the Roots program is to invite someone that's participated to share their personal experiences. And so with that, I would like to invite Tonya Vega, who's one of the participants, to share her experiences with the program. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Tonya Vega, and I'm 26 years old. My husband Jake and I purchased a home through the Roots program, and we moved into our home in October of last year. The city staff helped us out. They were very helpful, and they were friendly and approachable, and they were easy to get in contact with. They gave me all the tools that I needed to complete all the forms and get everything turned in. When we had questions, they responded very promptly. They were quick to get back to us. We definitely appreciated that. It seemed that they were just as excited as I was to get my new house built, because they all had great enthusiasm and were just so open and willing, and we definitely appreciate that. Owning my own home at my age means the world to me. I never thought that I would have something to call my own. Jake and I take pride in our home, and we're very blessed to have it through the RIPS program. It shows our kids that you can do great things in life no matter where you came from. I'm glad that my husband is very strong-willed and did not let us give up when we were in the search for our new home. I never thought we would be able to get a home, let alone build one, at our age. We have a future here, and we have stability here. Through the RIPS program, we were able to do that. We were told by many of our friends about the program, and we referred a lot of our friends to the program as well, and have at least 3 of our friends that have chosen to build new homes through the RIPS program. It's nice to see our neighborhoods are finally coming back together. It gives us something to look forward to. The empty spaces are being taken up by beautiful homes, and it's giving our city hope. People aren't giving up on Cedar Rapids. We can, we are, and we will rebuild after the flood of 2008.
Thank you, Tonya. That was beautiful. That concludes the press conference. If you have any questions, our staff is happy to field that, and we can also take individual interviews as you'd like. Thank you again for coming.